My name is Hafsa and these are my pieces, and they were made as part of my Warm Like an Animal, Warm Like a Machine project. And in this project I investigated the symbiotic relationship between man and machine. I wanted to make art about the destructive qualities of the machines we coexist with. Car crashes were my main source of inspiration. The cars are the violent, powerful oyster shells in which humans sit as a soft sliver of slimy muscle within. Cars operate as insect-like exoskeletons of the body, enhancing it beyond natural means. My work is cathartic. Whenever anything happens to me, I make art about it. Whenever something bad happens to me, I make art about it. Everything I'm thinking and feeling, if I let it stagnate in my head, it'll just ferment there. I've got to get it on something, I've got to get it out. My first experience with mental health services was through CAMHS, and I was lucky enough to have a really good CAMHS counsellor. And what he did was, alongside all the talking therapies we did, he made me make art. So when there was key events that we needed to talk through, he would send me home to make something about it, bring it in, and it would help me discuss it. I wouldn't have been able to get through talking therapies if it wasn't for the art aspect of it. He got to know me and he knew that the only way that he was going to get anything out of me is if he let me speak in my language. English is not my mother tongue. Pictures are. Part of it is that I don't think in words. I think in shapes and colours and pictures. When you're trying to translate the image and you're trying to, what's the word, like etymologize it, it mistranslates. Things get lost in conversion. I like to translate directly. While you can use words to incite feeling, I think it's better done with image. And I think I do it better with image. In my head, everything I do is informed by autism in its own way. The only time I had a problem with it was when I was fighting it. I think a lot of the difficulty with moving through the mental health pipeline is the talking. There's so much talking. And I've almost sort of forgotten how immense the amount of talking is until I read my diaries from that time in my life. And you are meeting so many new people in a week and explaining your entire life story and your deepest, darkest traumas to them. And it shouldn't be like that. Every stage of my mental health recovery, I needed to be making art. My CAMHS counsellor was the first person to ever put any of my work up somewhere. I wrote a letter to him when I aged out CAMHS to make sure that he knew that he kick-started my incessant, all-consuming need to have my art where people can see it, because he told me what people were thinking and saying about it. And the interpretations were so wide and so far removed from what I imbued into the piece that I thought, this is incredible and I need to do this for my whole life. When you cultivate your art, you're cultivating yourself. It's sort of like, I make this kind of art because I want people to see me as this kind of artist and this kind of person. It is what I live to do. And it's what I love to do. And I wouldn't be me without it. I call it the burning urge. And it was at one point in my life the only thing that I felt. So I was completely numb to everything apart from unending misery. And the only thing that shone through that was the burning urge. And the burning urge is when you have an idea and you have to execute it. There's an element of a trade in there. I've got your attention, right? What am I going to do with it? What do I need to tell you? What do you need to know? I like validation, but I don't live off it. It's not what I feed off anymore. I can sort of sustain myself without it. I couldn't before, I can now. So at my lowest, I sort of needed it to survive, but now I don't. There's a lot of people that get really wrapped up in ideas of, oh, I'm not an art person, or I'm not an artist. How do you know that? Have you even tried? There's no sort of entry-level skill barrier to making stuff. When you're doing work that's less tangible, and you're spending all this time on it and you don't have anything physical to show for it, there is an unfulfillment, and you have to supplement that with making something physical, no matter what that might be. If it's like a blue tack sculpture. If you make something purely for the catharsis of having made something tangible with your hands, that's enough. It doesn't have to look brilliant, it doesn't have to be brilliant. No one even has to see it. It's just the fact that you've made something, you've given it a bash. If it feels good, do it. Not in all cases, because that would be terrible advice.